The Paradox Brothers' function
is to guard this underground dungeon. My turn's done.
If you desire to pass our chamber...
Win and escape? Ha! Never! Whoa! I drew a terrifying card. Here comes Suijin, the Water God!
Meld your powers in eternal light. Show these fools your unstoppable might.
My monster attacks you directly!
Mahalo everyone, and welcome to another What If video here on the Jolly Scarecrows channel. Today I'm presenting a Paradox Brothers deck, and this is coming a little earlier maybe than it might be expected. We're essentially going through the characters one by one as they appear in the DM series. But when I was building this Paradox Brothers deck, I realised that I had two different builds. One of them was like this, and I realised most of the cards were just commons and rares in Master Duel, and we've currently got the Common and Rare Festival going on. And so I thought, why don't I make some slight tweaks and make the deck fully compatible with that festival? And so here that deck is. I decided to run with Metal Foes because for me they reminded me the most of kind of Labyrinth tank. There's a lot of tank-like cards we see here. In terms of Volflame and Gold Driver, I can imagine these operating within the Labyrinth. And we have two copies of Labyrinth Wall here because between this and Steelen, there are two 0 attack monsters which we can access right the way down here. So a Box of Friends. And so Box of Friends, when it's destroyed, lets you special summon 2 normal monsters from the deck, so you can immediately get some high field presence. And what's great about this deck is that all of these Pendulum Metal Foes have this effect that they can destroy one other card you control to set a Metal Foe spell or trap. So if you open with a Metal Foes and a Box of Friends, you can immediately special summon monsters out, and then go from there. You can basically destroy Box of Friends, get out Steelen and Labyrinth Wall, and then from there you can go in with your Parametric Fusion and start fusing away, and that's regardless of all the other cards. The other great thing about the Metal Foes is that they, as I said, are pendulum, and we can just about see here that they've got a good mix of level 8s and level 1s, and between them that gives us access to our full level 7 range of Sango Thunder, Suijin and Kazejin, the monsters that make Gate Guardian. And the focus of this deck is to try and play Gate Guardian. We haven't yet achieved it, but we're going to hopefully be live streaming some of those duels for you to see if we can do it before the festival is over. Some other little bits of this deck to let you know about. We're running Wall Shadow in here too, because we can play Labyrinth Wall fairly easily, so it's just a funny thing for the theme. But obviously, if you want to really focus in on Gate Guardian, maybe you just replace it with one more Gate Guardian. Dark Doriado has this really good effect for the deck, so where it's normal or special summoned, you can grab I think a fire, a water, an earth, and a wind from your deck and put them on top. And so with that, you're able to retrieve the Suijin or Kazejin that are locked in the deck and put them on top of the deck, and then you can use things like Vortex Trooper, or in the I did update this deck because this thing, the Bear Baboon, is just such a fantastic card. It gives you tribute fodder and lets you draw a card and then discard it, whereas the Vortex Trooper, you kind of have to have cards in your hand already. So yeah, this is the better pick for the deck. And in the update, we've taken out the 2 Vortex Troopers and the silvered for 3 Bayo Baboon. The extra deck is mostly, obviously, we're relying on fusions quite a lot, but we do have, obviously, we're summoning level 7s quite frequently, so we'll often go into things like Odd Eyes and go from there. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to show you 3 or 4 replays with this deck, and if you want to see some more action, check out our live streams over the weekend as the festival progresses. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Okay, so here we go. The opponent starts off very defensively, and we start off very, very well indeed. So we get Dark Doriado as one of our pendulum scales, and Metal Force Volflame, which is our level 8, and so between them we're able to pendulum summon level 7s. So it's unfortunate that one of them wasn't Kazajin, but immediately the opponent decides that this duel isn't for them. Okay, so we'll start off here with a duel against this Warrior Toolbox deck, and I'll use the effect here of Box of Friends and the Metal Foes monster in my Pendulum Zone. The Metal Foes monster lets me destroy Box of Friends, and then Box of Friends lets me summon 2 normal monsters from my deck. In this instance, one of them can be Labyrinth Wall, and having got Magical Labyrinth in my hand, I was able to summon out the mighty Wall Shadow to the field in Master Duel straight on the first turn. Unfortunately, I'm up against Ninja Grandmaster Suzuki, which can destroy defensive monsters regardless of defense. This is a very old school combo happening here. Fortunately, I can use my trap card. We'll just look at it here, Metal Foes counter. When any of my cards are destroyed, I'm able to bring out a Metal Foes from my deck. So I bring out Parametal Foes here. I can then banish that trap card to bring back the Metal Foes monster that was destroyed in my first turn. That gives me my Pendulum Scales 1 to 8. And from here, I'm able to use my Pendulums to destroy cards on the field to keep searching for things. I've got 2 level 7s now, one of them being Sanger of the Thunder. And what I've also done is I've summoned Dark Doriado, and when it's normal summoned, I can select monsters in my deck and change their order. So, yes, upcoming, in theory, are Suijin and Kazajin, and then also Labyrinth Wall, and then what Metal Foes monster. And so from here, obviously, I'm in this incredible position. They use Exile Force and Sanger of the Thunder, and then I can respond with full Metal Foes Fusion. So this is a quick play fusion spell, so I'll get rid of my Sanger of the Thunder, and I actually end up getting rid of a bunch of monsters in my field. I've already used the effect of Dark Doriado, so I don't need it anymore. And so I can bring out Crimsonite, dodge the effect of Exiled Force. Now, I could have seen this coming. Moon Mirror Shield means that their little Swordsman of Landstar is able to get over my monster. And because I've done a bit of deck searching, I don't actually draw the Kazajin. They use Dust Tornado, and I mean they do pretty well in getting rid of that fusion card, but they didn't necessarily need to. My aim for this point was to try and Pendulum Summon a monster and use the effect of this drop. However, I didn't realise that you had to select a different level. So now I'm not able to keep my Dark Doriado as level 4 and then destroy both it and the Comrade Swordsman of Landstar. No matter, I can use the new Parametal Foes Fusion, to bring out Metal Foes Mithrilium, and that lets me recycle 2 Pendulum monsters for to send a monster back to their hand. So I send it back to their hand, get rid of Moon Mirror Shield. They'll put it to the top of their deck, which is an interesting thing to do because it means that they're unable to draw their way out of any better situation, but it does mean that they can obviously just replay what they've done before. So they can hammer in to the Metal Foes monster with Moon Mirror Shield. Handily, though, with the Metal Foes, we're able to bring out one of our monsters stuck in our extra deck, one of our Pendulum monsters. And I bring this one out because it has, I guess, a better long-term effect when it's destroyed. And then I am able to search for Parametal Foes Fusion by destroying my link, bring back out Mithrilium, and we know the situation from here. I'm able to send my 2 cards back into my deck, And in this instance, I'll just send Moon Mirror Shield back, and from there, that's game over. Okay, so this is obviously a bad start to the duel. We've drawn a lot of our bricks in our opening hand. Fortunately, we're not completely wiped out by it, because that's a bit hard to do in the Common and Rare Festival. However, we do take 4,000 damage from the Time Lord. And they also don't destroy counter. Fortunately, Vortex Trooper couldn't have been a much better draw, because it gives me that normal summon and lets me recycle the dead weight in my hand and bring out 2 new cards. Then one of them happened to be one of the Metal Foes, Pendulum, so I'm able to destroy Vortex Trooper, and then use both my originally set Metal Foes counter and the effect of Vortex Trooper to draw an additional card. I wanted a Pendulum Scale, but I didn't get it, but instead I've got now Suijin and Kazajin. Their Time Lord goes back, but I'm in a decent situation here. They Kaiju me, and I think that's pretty much because that's all they could do. And I can use Metal Foes counter to bring back my scale, and so now I've got 2 level 8 scales. And fortunately, I draw into Dark Doriado, so I can put that as one of my nice scales. They Ring of Destruction me, so they bring me down to 700 life points. But in doing so, bring themselves into range for my Pendulum Arsenal to strike. And of course, with the Metal Foes trap card, I'm able to bring out one of my level 7s. And from here, I've got Suijin, I've got Kazajin, and they've been buffed from Dark Doriado. So I'm able to wipe out my opponent from there. So we've been able to get 2 of the 3 monsters needed for Gate Guardian. We haven't yet been able to play Gate Guardian in Master Duel, but we're going to keep dueling in the festival, and we plan to do a live stream before it's over on YouTube. So do check that out for our quest for the Paradox Brothers to play Gate Guardian in Master Duel. See you for that, Duel.